Today, the gospel speaks of Jesus teaching masses of people, and Jesus' mother Mary and his cousins came because they wanted to see Jesus speaking to the crowd. And people in the crowd said, "Jesus, your mother is here and she wants to speak to you." And you know what Jesus said? He said, "Any one of you who hears me and follows God's will, you are my mother and you are my brother." So, what did Jesus mean when he said that? Well, there are some Protestants who say, well, see, Catholics have these wrong beliefs about these devotions to Mary. And if you look in today's gospel, that's not really what Jesus means. Jesus loved his mother. And remember, if you look forward in the Gospel of John, Jesus was on the cross and delirious, yet he saw his mother standing with John next to him. So Jesus told John, please take care of her. And from now on, she is your mother. So when he told John that she would become his mother, it's just like Jesus tells us that Mary is now our mother as well, and that we need to cherish her and pray that she helps us. So what does Jesus really mean in all of this? He wants to emphasize to us that anyone who is serious and follows God's will is really his family. And that makes such sense. Now, something else kind of popped into my head when I was reading today. And I thought, yeah, that's right. Jesus didn't just drop his teachings to run and be with his mother and his family. He couldn't do that because he was so busy with his critical teachings. You know, and sometimes we get busy doing stuff, or I get busy doing stuff, and my secretary will come and say, "Oh, your mom's on the video phone." And I'll tell her, "Oh, I can't talk to her right now. Tell her I'll call her later." And it's the same thing that Jesus did. And we can see that his mission was so important in that moment in time. And of course, when he wasn't busy doing that, he would go visit his mother and his family. So that made me think that, this is right. I never thought about this before. If we look around at all of the bishops and even the Pope, that they have such a huge sacrifice and a huge responsibility, focusing full time, their life devoted full time to the church. They don't get to spend time with their family like they may like because they are serving all of God's people. And that made me think that I need to pray more for all of them. But also that we all have our own vocations. God called me to become a priest. Maybe he calls some people to become a parent, or calls some people to become a doctor. And whatever the vocation we're called to do, we are responsible in answering to God and following his will. Of course, being a parent is a vocation, raising children, and God expects parents to focus on their children and give it their all, not to ignore them and go out and have fun while their kids stay at home. Parents have to make sacrifices about all their socializing and stay home and raise their children. World leaders, political leaders, all have to focus on everybody equally and not show favoritism to certain groups. They have to treat everyone equally. So all vocations do require some sacrifice. And I think it's a good idea that we pray and ask God to help us to do our vocation well. Thank you, and may God bless you.